think it did something funny.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Je Vaughn Show. I am your host, Je Vaughn. Hopefully, you're watching us on Facebook Live, and if you are not, you can go to www.javonshow.com. Today on the show, we have Precious Thornton. Do you
Hey
understand that ever since I knew that you were coming on the show, I have been singing that song on repeat over and over and over again? It's ridiculous.
you know what? Everybody do that. As soon as they hear my name, they just bust out singing. I'm like, really? This is a lifetime of this song.
So you're saying that I am not original? Eh,
No,
you're not the
absolutely not.
you're not the first person to tell me that either. That's unfortunate. So, Miss Precious, I do a show about creatives for creatives, and you are one of my favorite creatives.
Wow.
But for those who do not know who you are, please share with us who is Precious Thornton.
Precious Thornton is a creator. I'm an innovator, a businesswoman, an actor, cosmetologist. I think I wear many hats. And so I'm just grateful to God to be blessed with so many gifts and so many talents. It comes with the hardship and warfare, but God has truly blessed me with an abundance of talent. And I'm just grateful for that.
Now, you wear many hats. It's kind of like Easter Sunday, but every day for you. What's your favorite hat to wear
I
of the
think
hats that you wear?
I think being a cosmetologist would probably be my favorite, and it being my favorite is because I get to be creative. I get to be the makeup artist, I get to be the stylist, so I get to kind of just do it all and have fun doing it. It's not that I have to be in a certain box, but I just, I can style hair one day if I want to, do makeup, clothes, and so I think I like that aspect of it, just being creative and not just being stuck at one thing.
Now, as a creative, though, and somebody who loves creativity, when you're sitting in the chair because you're about to go on set to do some camera work and you're being created on, are you pretty hard on the person doing it? Are you pretty like, hey, I need you know that this braid is supposed to be over on this side. What are you doing? Like, what type of person are you in the chair when you're being worked on?
You know what? When I show up to set, most of the time, they give you an opportunity to do your own makeup if it's not like a set piece. And what I mean, like if it's a set piece, that means like a time period, like if it's 1950s, 1960s, or something like that. Majority of the time, they will give you pretty much what pictures of what you should look like. And so, for the most part, I show up to set with my makeup already done. And of course, I have to be approved by the makeup department. So most of the time, the makeup is like, okay, you fine, honey, go ahead. And so if it's a period piece, they'll send pictures of how they kind of want it to be, and so I'll just kind of try to match what they send. But as far as like the hairstyles, I just sit in the chair and let them do whatever, because not that I'm not a professional, but they know what the producers and the directors are looking for, and so it's just those moments where you have to just let them do what they do.
Now, what was your journey going from the chair to the set? What happened with you that you were able to make it to the BT Studios to be on the set of Sistas?
So it's actually was a long journey. Actually, what ended up happening when I was little, what I would do is I would always speak things, and so what I like people to know about me and about my spirituality is I really believe strongly in speaking things and they come to pass. And so when I was younger, I would always just write down different things, and I would speak and say, "Hey, mom, I'm going to work with this person. I'm going to work with that person. I'm going to travel here. I'm going to travel there." So I would always speak it, and then I would write it down. And so when I would tell my mom, "I'm going to work with this person and work with that person," it just literally started manifesting. And the power of speaking a thing and writing it down is mentally, we all want to do a particular thing. And so, but we have it in our mind what we want to do. And so it's invisible to life, it's invisible to the things that's all around us. But when we tap into really like another level and take what's in our mind. Habakkuk 2:2, it says, write the vision and make it plain. And so when we take what's in our mind and put it on paper, we cause what's invisible to become visible. And so it has to create, it has to pretty much form itself in the natural, because I took something that was invisible in my mind that nobody saw, and I pulled it out and put it on paper, and it became visible in the natural. And so I'm just one of those people that would speak things. I would say, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And this is the person I'm going to work with. I can remember one time I was at home and I was watching TV, and I was watching Ricky Smiley's comedy show. And he began to talk about Precious, and everybody knows the Precious is supposed to be like this retarded, little girl that he makes comedy about. And so I looked at my mom and I told her, I said, one day I'm gonna sing for Ricky Smiley. I'm gonna open up for Ricky Smiley. And then I wrote it down on some paper. And so eventually, some years passed, but I was sitting at home one day and someone called me and they said, hey, we want you to open for Ricky Smiley. He's coming to town and he's going to do a comedy show. And I was like, are you serious? And they was like, yes. And so anyway, they got it all together. I ended up opening up for Ricky Smiley and ended up meeting him that night. And he was like, the first picture I want to take is with Precious. And so we did that photo, and it was just an amazing time. But to get to the process of being, to BET and things like that, it was more so of speaking things, writing it down. And my very first, believe it or not, my very first time filming was with Tyler Perry. A lot of people don't get the opportunity. They work in the industry for so long before they get that big break. But the very first time I was filmed on TV was with Tyler Perry. And so
and wait, which show with Tyler Perry? What part was Tyler
that
Perry?
Was Sisters.
That was. Mm-hmm. So sitting in the chair, getting your hair done, that was the very first time you were on screen.
Yeah, that was on the big screens, I would say.
On the big screen. Very cool.
And so, navigating to that place back in 2014, I inboxed Tyler Perry and I said, hey, I'm a cosmetologist, makeup artist. I really want to work with you, all this. And at that time, I wasn't prepared to work with him physically, mentally, any of that, because when we want to get to a certain place in life, we have to be physically, mentally prepared and have the right character to be able to walk in those levels and those dimensions in life. And so God took me on a journey of preparation in that process. And so I messaged him like August of 2014, and of course no response, nothing like that. And so
he's probably busy. Yeah.
It was real busy for about 5 years. He was busy. And so one of my friends actually said, hey, we were just having a conversation about life and different things. And she was like, you know what, you should probably do acting. And I'm like, really? Like acting? Nah, not going to happen. But what was crazy and significant about that moment, I messaged him in 2014. And then in 2016, I had a nephew that played basketball with one of his producers. And so my nephew, he came home one day and he said, I got Tyler Perry's phone number. And I'm like, okay, you probably got a studio number or whatever. So I was like, he was like, just put it in your phone. This was 2016. And he said, just put it in your phone. So if I ever lose my phone, you'll have Tyler Perry's number. And so I put it in my phone, never used it, never even thought about it, just saved it in my phone. So in 2019, me and my friend were having a conversation and she's like, you should probably, start acting and this and that. So I submitted and did a few things. And, some people kind of, made the connection. And I was standing in the salon and I was doing hair and my phone rung. And when my phone rung, it said Tyler Perry Studios, and it like startled me. And I was like, wait a minute, Tyler Perry calling me? I was like, it's got to be a joke. And so I was like, okay, I was kind of getting nervous. So I was like, let me step outside because it's loud in here. So I stepped outside and it was one of his directors that called me and they was like, hey, we want to get you in the studio. We want to, all this. And so I was just like, this is not real. And so they was like, yeah. So They sent over the information, emailed me and things of that nature. And then 5 minutes later, I hung up the phone and they called back again. And I just got tickled. I'm like, this is not real. His name keeps showing up on my phone. And so they called back and they was like, hey, make sure you look like this and you look like that. And they was like, we're going to use you tomorrow and, all this. And so that was kind of the irony, of the situation of everything that happened, but it was divinely orchestrated by God.
And just to make sure, in case he does call me, what was that number again, Tyler?
You
Okay,
know
just so I
what?
can make sure that when he calls, that I got the right number saved, because I don't want to not answer that Atlanta number.
Right. Listen.
You give it to me after. You give it to me later. Okay, we can do this. We can put it in. We'll put it in later. So when you get to the studio and you do the work, do you get some of the behind the scenes information about what's going on with the show?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're right there. You get pretty much all of the information when you get there. You're with the makeup crew. You're with camera people. Tyler's sitting there. You get directions from him what he's looking for, what his vision is, and how he wants everything to kind of flow. And so he's just such an amazing director. He's like the homeboy next door, and he's really really kind man. He does not just a lot for the community, but for his workers and for background talent, just everybody. He's a really amazing person.
So the character that plays Calvin on the show, um, has he calmed down? Because Calvin seemed to be Calvin got
So
Calvin got some stuff going on.
So you know what? I actually haven't met Calvin personally. That's the thing
Okay.
about shooting. Some days you're on set with multiple people, and then some days you're not. And so when it comes to like shooting, some days you only have that particular scene. Because I think some people think you just go in and then maybe an hour, 2 or 3, it's over. But that's not necessarily how it is. Sometimes when you go in, say like the salon scene that I was in. Me and Ebony were pretty much the only ones in that particular scene. So we would have been shooting for maybe 8 to 9 hours. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
then in between time, maybe take lunch and go back because there are so many so many dynamics of shooting, you know what I'm saying? So like first you
Right.
might shoot me from the front and then after a while we have to shoot from the back angle. That's why when you watch TV, the cameras are, can switch that fast. And that's just because
Right.
we've shot at those angles so many times.
So back to Sabrina and Calvin. When you get back, if you're able to get back on the set, can you just tell Sabrina that Je Vaughn said what's up?
I will do that. I will do that. Let me write that down,
Write
Javon.
that one down. My number 404
Not to give you
981 6060. Sabrina, if you're listening, what's up? Yamisha Thornton Prater wanted you to know that she was so proud of you.
That's my sister. I'm so proud of her and she's amazing. I definitely want to give a shout out to her. She's one of the ones that is on the front line right now fighting for the COVID-19. And she's a top phlebotomist and she's just super amazing. And so, my prayers are for those people that are working on the front line and she is one of those. So I love her.
And that's a good transition. So, this is a thing that's in the atmosphere. And I'm asking all of the guests right now until we get out of it. What are you doing during this season just to kind of keep your creativity going and to keep your mental wellness healthy?
I'm reading books every day. I'm writing. I'm really a big writer, and so I'm reading. I'm getting knowledge, not just for where I want to go. I'm reading business books. I'm reading inspirational books. Of course, reading the Bible to get more revelation of what God wants to do through His people in this season, and just continuing to rest. I think it's really really important for people, not just their physical health, but their mental health to rest. I think I've seen a lot of things in social media where they're saying like, when you come out of this, you better have this, you better have that. But what if you come out and you don't have anything? It's okay. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take time to just, relax and clear your mind, because I think social media is so fast. And I think that, as individuals, we think that we have to keep up with people in order to be relevant when you don't. You actually can just be you. You can rest. And this is really a good time for me because I have been doing a lot of resting. I'm never in competition with anybody, because I believe that timing is everything. If you look at, you know, what God has done between 2014 and, you know, me being on BET on multiple shows and doing this, if he had given it to me before time, I wouldn't have been ready. But the timing is everything. And so, you know, it's okay to, you know, not be slowful about things. If you have vision, you need to be, you know, working on the vision or connecting with people who can help you get that together. But it's okay to rest. You don't have to be in the spirit of competition. You don't have to compete with people. So what if people are on 20 flyers and you're on one, or you're on none? That's okay. You know, I think we need to understand this is a good time that God has us in, and we just need to remain focused on life and health, and make sure that we're mentally here, and stay present, you know, in the time, and just allow God's timing to have its perfect work in our life.
That's good. That's good. If you could be quarantined with anyone from the show, Sistas, who would it be?
You know what? I think it would be I'm gonna say Ebony, not just because I'm in the scene with her. I love Novi. I love all of them. But I think she's just one of those people that, I'm sorry, somebody trying to call
No,
me in
you're
the
fine.
middle of the line. But
Tell them. No. Okay, go back.
I know,
Uh-huh.
right? I'm not frozen up, am I? Okay.
No, you're good.
So,
You're good.
yeah, she's really upbeat. She has such a sweet personality, and I think she has a quiet side to me. I have a quiet side that people don't know about. I'm a very introverted person. I love to kind of stay to myself. That's just for my mental health, to be able
Mhm.
to navigate. I think some people, you know, sometimes they want to be in groups and social lives, and that's where they get their energy. That's okay, you know, but we just have to do it according to like who we are, and that's who I am. You know, I'm a very introverted person. I love staying to myself so I can think and figure out how I'm going to navigate. I love reading and quiet time, but then I have those times where I like to, you know, be around people, but not for a long time, because it can be draining. That's just because of my personality. But
Okay.
I think it'd be her.
And I thought that it would have maybe been Danny, so you can kind of fill her in on everything that's going on behind her back.
She's hilarious. She's
But
hilarious.
she just needs somebody to fill her in on.
You know
Just
what? She is hilarious. I really, really like her character. I think she did hands down a phenomenal job. And then she just that one piece that I think the show really, really needed for the comical
Mhm.
part of it, you know. And I think he picked the perfect character to do it. I do hope, you know, and I believe, you know, eventually I'll have that speaking role, but it's okay. You know, you have even some
It's
of the
coming.
most, yeah, some of the most biggest stars in the you know, in the movie arena, they do background. So, you know, you just
Yeah.
got to work your way. But I'm just so grateful that I can say my very first time was with Tyler Perry. So, you know, it's
And
amazing.
Tyler, if you're watching, it's real normal for the person in the salon chair to have all the gossip in the news. So having Precious use her lines to fill in Danny on what's going on would be a good plot point. And then it would be awesome if Precious' character was there with her man, filling in the information. And I'm available. I'm not doing nothing during it. Tyler, 404-981. All right, let me bring in some other people that want to say hello. Lisa LaShawn Brown Armstrong, LaQuisha Coronova Jenkins said, I'm excited for this woman of God looking beautiful. She thinks you're stunning, by the way.
Hey, Lisa, I love you.
La Shawanda Jefferson said hello, and you are blessed. She wanted
Hi,
you to know that
LaShawanda.
you
Thank you so
pronounced it
much.
better than me. Tanika Finks said, Precious One, you deserve all of this.
Hey,
Huh?
Tanika, I love you.
Nikisa said that you've been keeping it 100. Thank you, Nikisa.
Thank you.
Nikisa, by the way, is the co-host of the Relationship Hotspot, which is live right here every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's just my little advertisement there
Right.
to
How you
throw out
doing, Miss
me.
Nikia?
Yeah, that happens. And then we also have Michelle Martin that just wanted you to know her name. I don't know what that's
That's my
about.
mom. That's my mom.
Really? Michelle,
Hey,
so all
mama.
Michelle Martin wanted you to know was that her name was Michelle Martin.
She's
Reminding
one.
you.
No, she in here. Mama want me to. I'm in here, boo. I see my boo. I love you,
And,
mama.
and she said, Mom, love you, Angel. She
Angel.
meant Angel.
Yeah.
Unless it is. Okay, maybe you are an angle. I don't know what y'all language look like.
Hey, perspective is everything.
So, tell me about growing up in a household with Michelle Martin. Was she strict? Did she show hard love?
You know what? My mom is such. I mean, I think everybody's mom is amazing, but my mom is such the most kind, patient, and beautiful woman that I could have ever imagined. I tell her all the time, when I grow up, I want to be like you. She's very caring. I just when I think of strength and people like, oh, you're so strong, you go through so many things, but my mom is the definition of strength. I've watched her trailblaze through life, through trials and tribulations of life, and not say a word. I mean, I've not seen strength like that in anyone. And her kindness and her patience, and just throughout the year, she's such a giver and can cook. Now, listen, if you
Mm.
want some soul food. She
Hmm.
can get down, listen. And so, my prayers is one day, that God's going to give her the opportunity to open her own restaurant, and I pray that I build it. But she's such an amazing cook. She's such an amazing woman, and I just appreciate everything that she has poured into me throughout the years, because it has made me the woman that I am today.
Now, she can cook. Can Precious Thornton cook?
What? What? Precious Thornton can cook. Why would your eyes get low when I say I can cook? Listen, country, all
Mm.
that cornbread, greens, all that good stuff. That's me. Don't let
And,
this
and you
cuteness. Listen, don't let this cuteness fool you. I can cook.
and you can cook it Corona free. Can I get it delivered?
Listen, we're gonna have to do what they got, DoorDash.
DoorDash.
I'm gonna have to get on their list.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now, in this season, I noticed when you were talking about keeping your mind right and staying grounded and staying creative, I didn't hear anything about staying in touch with Anthony or Marcus or Jerome. What is the love life looking like for Miss Precious Thornton?
You know what? I don't even know Anthony, Jerome, none of them. But at this moment, Precious
Hmm.
is single, but it's not that I don't want to mingle. It's just I think it's important to take our time in relationships and really, really dissect. I want the person to learn me. I want to be able to learn the person to make sure that it's right, because I think what it is sometimes we get in a position to where we feel like we always have to be with somebody. And if you're always with somebody, then when do you have the time to learn who you are? And so I have to really take that space to say, who am I, what do I want in life, and what do I want a relationship to look like. I can't with you.
Keep going. Keep going.
You know what I want a relationship to look like. And so you I can't even take you serious.
Hey,
And so I think that
now,
that is very important. For
mm,
people, don't feel like you're alone or you're lonely. Like, learn who you are. Take time to learn who you are. And when you learn who you are, then you'll know exactly, what you want in life. And so right now we just taking our
yeah,
time with this thing.
yeah, I understand what you're saying, yo.
Why
So
you
let
got
me
this
ask you this:
smooth look going?
what happened? It's just my
Why
everyday
you start
look.
looking
I know what
smooth
you're
all
talking
of a
about.
sudden?
Now, listen, I just got a quick question. What better time
Your voice
to
changed.
really? What happened? No, I mean that.
Your
This is
voice
my.
changed.
I just made sure that I was speaking to you in a level and tone that you could understand.
I can't
Precious.
bear it.
Hey,
I can't
precious.
bear
Hey, precious.
it.
What better time to learn somebody than through quarantine season? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, we got
Yeah.
Zoom, we got
Yes, we do.
FaceTime,
We
all
do.
that.
Yes, we do.
Very,
Listen, precious. 404 981. Uh huh.
Ladies, do
Six
y'all hear
zero
Javon?
six
Ladies,
zero.
write this number down, because Javon extra. He real extra.
Um, hello is all I'm saying. And I think that I got a follower that's ready to let this thing go forth, brother-in-law. I
My
see you,
sister real
sis.
petty.
I
My
see you,
sister
sis.
real petty. She real
You know,
petty.
if we double team her, she'll come around. So I only have 6 more minutes, and I did promise you a song break, and I'd never go back. Now, one thing you're gonna learn about me, one thing you're gonna learn about me is that I keep my word when I tell you something.
I cannot.
So this is a part of the show where they get to hear from the psalmist, huh? Precious Thornton. I'll sing a song first,
Please
and
do.
then you will sing a
Sing for
song
5
after
minutes.
that.
Sing
Nope,
for
I only got 30 seconds, and then you give me a
30
minute and
seconds.
20. Here's my song. Hey, precious, I see you sitting by the blinds, but don't be blind to these feelings. Don't be blind to this.
Everybody on social media need to help me right about now.
And
Right.
just know
Come
I got
on.
you. Corona can't have you.
Crazy.
Precious. Your turn.
You know, I'm gonna give you the smallest piece of this song because you don't put me on the spot.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even ready, prepared to sing. So I'm gonna give you 10 seconds, literally.
I'll take it.
No, I like this song by Dorinda. It's called "You're Holy, You're Holy, You're So Holy to Me. You're holy, You're holy, You're so holy to me." That's all you're gonna get. I can't. I cannot.
They should have cast you as Dorinda.
I can't. No, Dorinda, she got me beat. Like, don't even put me in a category with Dorinda.
That was nice. Did you watch the Clark Sister special?
I did. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved every bit of it.
I was pretty impressed with it too. Shout out to all of them that made that happen.
Yes.
Next time for part 2, the Denise story, put in Precious as her best friend that does her hair in the shop with speaking lines.
Right. Put me in
Speaking lines.
everything. Put me in everything. I like the way you think. I like the way you think.
What else? What else have you been watching to keep you entertained while you've been in isolation?
You know what? I like Chopped. I am a big fan of Chopped and Bobby Flay. Listen, I be on the Food Network and I never have any of the seasonings that they have. It's okay though. It's okay. I never have the seasonings that they have. But I like I'm really competitive. So I compete against myself, not others. But I love to see Chop beat Bobby Flay and watching Sisters and a little bit of Boomerang. I ain't a big fan of the show.
I know.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this one. So you're competitive. Is it just about cooking or in other things?
I actually other things. I played basketball when I was in school. I ran track. I was the fastest girl in my school. In track, cheerleading. So I've been always competitive, throughout my whole life. But as I get older, I got more mature. Instead of competing against people, it's always competing against myself. Like, how can I make myself better? How can I do better? If I wrote a book, how can I write a better book? So that's kind of how it is in that arena.
Can you play spades?
No, you know what? Somebody asked me to play spades a little while ago. I've never played spades a day in my life. I don't know how to play.
Okay. Our third date, I'll teach you how to play spades. You play Uno.
I do play Uno. Now I will get down with the Uno, but the spades,
when you put down, if somebody puts down a draw 4, can you come back that draw 4 by putting down another draw 4? Do you play with those rules?
No, you gotta draw your cards first.
You gotta see. So if you put down a draw 2, you don't go where you put down another draw 2. So you don't play stacking.
You the type of person be making up your own rules and stuff.
Chicago rules, baby. The Chicago rules. That's all it is. That's how we do. That's how we play, yo. I'll teach you though. That'll be our 5th date. I'll teach you Chicago rules on the 5th date. Now back to the second date. So do you like a man? Listen, do you like a man that can cook?
Of course. I mean, I ain't gonna be in there sweating all the time cooking. Can you cook?
Yes, I can. Do you like cheese in your grits?
Yes, with some shrimp.
A little bit of sugar?
No.
Oh, you ain't done, Steve. Your man, Steve. You've been surprised. I'm gonna bless you. We've got one more minute on this show. We didn't even get to the book. Tell us about the book, just real 30 seconds.
So, Develop in the Dark is basically a book about your relationship, how to be able to get you free in your mind, free in every area of your life to get that direction. Because a lot of people are bound in certain areas and they don't know why they're bound or they don't know how to get free. And so, it's just one of those books that help you navigate in some of the darkest seasons of your life, and that, can help you get to a place of freedom and really see the vision that God has for you.
Will we be seeing you on screen anytime soon?
Absolutely. The big screens, actually.
Tell us about it.
It's coming soon. I can't really release the show, but I will say this: I will be in movie theaters soon.
Excellent. And then you'll come back on the show. This would probably be around our 9th or 11th date, and you'll do the show where we can talk about it at that point. Then, Precious.
Yeah, when it
Just
comes
say
when
yes.
it comes out, we'll be back
Yeah.
and we'll definitely talk about it.
Yes, yes. Let me tell you about that first date. Wait a minute, we got to go. It's 12:30. Listen, Precious Thornton, thank you so much for coming on the show
Thank you for
and just
having.
blessing our people. Can you please tell us where we can find Precious Thornton?
Yes, Instagram, I am Precious Thornton. Facebook, of course, Precious Thornton. And if you want to reach me or get any type of details or how to book me for any type of, conferences or speaking engagements, panels, or anything like that, you can go to pushmeprecious.com.
Excellent. And just so you know, once we get married and start picking out curtains, I'll handle all your bookings. You know what I'm saying? I will make sure I'll be your travel agent and your travel agency, huh? This LaShawn,
Got you.
Lisa LaShawn Brown Armstrong Jenkins Davis said, before the first date, you have to go through Mama Michelle. Mama Michelle, 404
Listen,
981
because
60.
everybody who are here being petty, if you're not my friend tomorrow, you're gonna know why.
Everybody, make sure after the show is over that you go and you like the show and then you share it with the world so that everybody can see more about Precious Thornton. Precious, you are precious. You are
Thank you
wonderful,
so much.
amazing, beautiful voice, beautiful soul, beautiful spirit. And thank you for being on the Je Vaughn Show. Everybody, every Thursday, make sure you're here. Tomorrow's show is youth focused. So it's a bunch of youth creatives. My co-host for that show is Miss Kaylin Richards. So make sure you come back. We're going to be talking to youth from all around the world at noon live, here at noon tomorrow live, and talking about how they're being creative. So,
Thank
man,
you so
I just
much.
want to keep looking down at Precious. Listen, so again, like this episode, and go share it and tell everybody about the Je Vaughn Show on Facebook.com/Je Vaughn Show. Again, share it. We're about to end the show. As soon as we end it, y'all go share it. Don't make me come looking for y'all. Until tomorrow, thank you, Precious. Thank you all for watching, and you all have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourself and each other. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great